So we're going to be talking about a woman's power. First off, I want to explain what I mean by a woman's power and what it looks like for a woman to have power. So a woman's power is what is a woman doing to be their best self, to not tone down who they are, and to push back to adversity, and to be full-fledged in the fact that she is a woman, in the fact that a woman is a part of a minority, but still, like Maya Angelou's Still I Rise is literally like that. But Maya Angelou's poem was not just about being a woman, it was about being a Black woman, her adversities in her personal life, all of that. So that's what we're gonna be touching on. Intersectionality within a woman, within a Black woman. And I'm gonna be talking about the show Industry and the movie Blink Twice. I love both of those. I'm not done with Industry. I'm still on the second season and I loved Blink Twice, so we're gonna be combining those themes together. I hope you enjoyed the video. What a woman's power actually looks like, now that you know what I mean by that, it means assertive communication, expressing herself clearly, and even if she is emotional. Some people really judge the fact that a woman is emotional because it's like a stereotype of women for them to be emotional, but to really get your thoughts out, even if you are feeling some type of way. Not hesitating to step up to the challenge of conversing with people that are not women. Let's say you're in a group full of men and you have to stand up for yourself. Let's say in a meeting with a room full of men, or in your personal life, you're just surrounded by men. Or you're in a friend group and maybe it includes mostly men. You have to stand up for yourself and let it be known you're not to fuck with, Speaking of letting it be known that you're not to fuck with, that's a part of setting boundaries. And that's also what it looks like to be a woman in her power. Learning how to say no is a powerful thing in general. I am the type of person who I grew up being feisty and stubborn about things, so I grew up saying no. But I had to learn to tone it down and to be respectful of others. But if you are the opposite and you grew up saying yes and you were like a people pleaser or try to just keep the peace, learning how to say no is a beautiful thing. Learning how to put the boundaries on it. Financial independence also, only me can take care of me, allowing other people to help you out, but you are the main thing that is getting you by. Pursuing education and personal growth is also a factor into making more money, maybe going to college or something along that nature. Not just sitting in your one way of thinking and not really expanding or not learning a new skill. That is new skills, going to college, maybe something that's not specifically college, but it's like you're learning a skill that can help you with life. Actually learning what you want to learn and knowing what you want to learn and utilizing it in your life is very good. People will think that you are hella talented if you just have maybe 1 or 2 or 3 skills, and that's something that you're good at and that's how they can utilize you. People who are like, you are just there and you're like, what's your purpose? Let's say there's a group goal and it's like a group project or whatever, and it's like, what are you good at? And you're like, I don't know. You have to be good at something, or you have to want to get good at something. You have to have that for yourself. Because, I don't know. You don't have to have a passion for it, but you have to be good at something. You have to have something of value. And it's cool to not live your whole life thinking about what do you add, what do you bring to the table, but just knowing that you have that to pull in your back pocket, it's valuable. Mindfulness and self-care is also a big thing. Just taking care of yourself, and if something happens, knowing to take a step back and knowing when to ease off the things, knowing how to regulate yourself. Shit like that. If you don't really have a way to regulate yourself, I suggest to get a hobby, because it honestly passes the time well, and then you end up feeling better after whatever you end up doing. So now we're going to talk about the media references and the themes that I wanted to point out in both of them. Our first theme is going to be intersectionality of power dynamics. Industry shows how the power dynamic is already set where men are the ones in charge, and it shows how the main characters break through that system, and she makes the wrong choices sometimes. But I've seen some clips of seasons that I haven't even got to yet, and it seems like she found her power. I don't think she did it in a moral way, but hey, that's the character. I'm not saying go and do exactly what the bitch did, but let's bring it to Blink Twice. Blink Twice, that was already a world of the men have the power. The man was the one that brought the two women to the island, and when you eventually find out, all the men brought random women to the island, and the whole idea was to just take advantage of them. So when you are talking about power dynamics, most of the time the men is the one with the power. I just really like that part of them explaining that in each piece of the media. In industry, they're really making it known that the man is the boss, the man is the superior. Gotta blink twice. The man is the rich one, the man is the one with the island, and the man is the one that can erase your memories if you watch the movie. So our next theme that I saw similarities in were memory and identity. So in Blink Twice, Frida had erased memory in the beginning, and then towards the end, she realizes that she was there before. She had those experiences before, and it's just coming back to her. So she's kind of rebuild herself and trying to find her power after she remembered all of those things. And the fact that the men were even trying to erase their memory is symbolization of society suppressing a woman's narrative, trying to quiet them down whenever they're trying to speak up. And a lot of guys utilize gaslighting or...
What do you mean? What does that mean? Really? Wait, what? What do you mean? That's crazy. I gotta go.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? But you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. I hate when niggas try to gaslight. Anywho. So in the industry, their issues with identity is they have trouble trying to navigate who they are when they're at work and how they're trying to act at work, and who they are when they go home and they rest their head. Who are they? And some people are trying to assimilate into the culture, and some people are trying to big up themselves and make themselves seem bigger than what they are. Everybody's just having trouble trying to be themselves, because a work environment like that in the industry show, it's hard to be your authentic self when you're in a workplace that is so hostile and that grows on people suppressing themselves. So our next theme is going to be sexual agency and objectification. In Blink Twice, they was using the perfume to erase their memory. What were they doing before the memory was erased? They were raping them. They were raping the women. They were taking advantage of their bodies. They were just doing whatever the fuck they can do. And it stripped them of agency. So in the end, when Frida explores her sexuality, she uses it as a source of power instead of how they used her sexuality. So in the industry, the people use sex as transactional. What can I get from you? What can you get from me? Some people get taken advantage of, and they don't even process that. They use it as leverage to get higher into the workplace. That shit is toxic. I love that show though. I'm not even gonna lie. And in the show industry, it's harder to see the line of, is it empowerment or is it objectification? That one girl, Yasmin, she's a slut. I actually love it though. You could tell she does all the kinky shit with the other people for herself. And it's not like, oh, I want you to think that I'm sexy. Sometimes it gives that, but then sometimes it gives, this is actually what you really want. Some people are like, oh, is this what you want? You could tell it's like, get off of him, you know? But it makes me question, in real life, is that how people really gain access to a higher level using sexuality? Fucking obviously. Yeah, I don't know why I even tried to ask that question, obviously. But is it right or wrong? Depends on how you feel about that. I feel like it's subjective. It depends on the person. I can't say, oh, it's right or wrong because it's my opinion. I think, personally, if you're not harming anybody, go for it. But another person might think something different. So our next theme is going to be resilience and adversity. These two main characters, that's what I love about them. In industry, she literally faked her transcripts from college. I don't know what happened there, but you could tell she was not a model candidate for the job, but she faked that shit. It's giving Anna Delvey vibes. In industry, she has a tough time in general, but she is really good at pushing herself. Mind you, she does have anxiety, so it's not in the healthiest way, but also the sheer fact that she's willing to do shit like that, all you need to do is learn healthy coping mechanisms and then you're cool. For Frida in Blink Twice, that bitch has been through the mud literally. Dirt in the nails and shit. She literally crawled and fucking clawed her way out of hell of a situation. She literally fought. She put on this whole facade, each tiny little facades of, oh, I don't know, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. But like, it was really a part of her plan. I really fucked with that, because you could tell, why would you do that? But then it's like, oh, you really knew what you was doing the whole time. It was little things like that. You could tell she was smart. I love when the main character of a thriller or how are you gonna get out this situation type of movie is smart, because I hate dumb bitches. Like, what are you doing? I hate movies where I'm like, why would you make that decision? Our last theme is gonna be collective empowerment and solidarity. So industry, the girls have trouble with that in general. I have not gotten that far into the show, so I'm not sure if they reconcile, but they are giving like frenemies vibes. In the beginning, the Yasmin was kind of nice to Harper, but Yasmin was kind of jealous because Harper was getting these opportunities that Yasmin wasn't getting. And it all comes down to, why do you deserve it and I don't? And she always had that animosity towards her. And then Harper did not make that situation better for herself when she ratted out that one girl, I forgot her name, but Yasmin thinks of herself higher on the morality scale, so she kind of was like not fucking with Harper ever since then, and it translated into season 2, and I'm not sure if they reconcile. But with Blink Twice, the two characters that end up fighting that battle together towards the end, they were enemies, not even frenemies. They had this unspoken beef, and it was just screaming jealousy. Towards the end, they just worked together and fought together. They kind of realized whatever nuanced bullshit was happening was not more important than fighting the good fight. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about those two shows and movies. I really was fucking with them, and I wanted an excuse for the fact that I was binge watching them, so I decided to make a video and talk about it. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you fuck with it, give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.